Angela Margolis for Sarcastic or Not. I like the fact that although it was a serious subject, there was humor.
Sarcastic or not? Do I dare to write a poem about my dying, wondering if I should be laughing or sighing? And where is the best place to die? In bed, in the sea, in the yard, in the sky? Why do I ask for advice who do I ask for advice in a crisis like this? Can you help me be expansive, full of bliss? What if my soul starts wallowing and hissing? What if my body starts missing the mark and pissing all over the place? I need a very wise guide. Perhaps someone who's already died, who laughs, tells jokes, and is never crying. But that would be a dead man who is lying about life. Just where do I want to go? To the stars, to the whole celestial show, where the winds are dancing and blowing, and the earth seems to be forever glowing. Yes, I will carefully plan to die when I am wrapped warm in knowing that the world is a place where peace and love are always flowing.
Okay, next honorable mention. Again, this poem, it starts out very lyrical, and I love the twist at the end. Jocelyn Noe for A Mountain View.
Well, I want to say something that off the record. This was inspired by a mountain in Vancouver. And if you look at the mountain, there's like people, there's two that's lying flat facing the sky on top of this mountain. And it was spring when I was there, when I wrote the poem, but now I kind of like wrote it in the context that it's winter. So I put the snow in it. Anyways, a mountain view. Rising from the coast, excuse me, I'll do it again. A mountain view, rising from the coast, here in this faraway land, you remind me of home in the distant past. Your summits point to the sky, stirring inner peace and tranquility. You are ancient as the sun and the moon, as you lay supine like two fairies on a snowstorm. Many times pounded by the rain, uncomplaining, gaily smiling to the sunshine that would always come when your darkness slips away, giving me hope that my car's transmission will be fixed soon and that we'll be on our way home.
This next poem, I liked everything about it, and I felt very moved by it, and I just really enjoyed it. It really spoke to me. Bob Allman for Bamboo.
Bob Allman, free verse, Bamboo. I will not envy the bamboo standing tall in that little grove in the corner of your yard, growing green and gold and gray against the fence, never cold, or if they are consoled in their swaying communion with the wind and sky. When they speak, they never talk of death, and when they sing in unison, dancing and clacking in syncopated rhythms with whatever wind that blows them all at once, groaning and creaking, and always speaking of their tribe. Neither do they envy us, nor should they. Our passing will doubtless be messy after many years of drooling misery, our dates and stats announced in the papers, and people will come and hear us eulogized, and then quickly we will pass away beyond the memory of our friends and lovers, while that bamboo will continue to grow tall, bound together by high-climbing vines, surrounding and supporting them all, encircling and binding together the dead and alive alike. In that bond, the dead do not collapse, are not marked off from the living, but stand in place and dance and sing and daily converse with the wind. How could they know or even care when something essential will have changed in one minutely invisible moment when the sap ceases to flow? How much sadder will be my own death, how much more final my final ceremonies. I'd love to keep standing and speaking and singing and dancing when the sap ceases to flow, but I know it will not be so.
This poem, writing in form is really, really hard for those of us who do it. And what I liked about this poem was, first of all, it was written in form. Second of all, as I was reading it out loud, I found it to be very lyrical. There was nothing excess about it, and it told a story succinctly and beautifully. First prize goes to Shirley Kent for The Search.
Shirley Kent, The Search. I read the other day of men who show their pride by sailing from a bay on morning's open tide. In water's slick felt glide, they sail the seven seas and search both deep and wide for Jason's golden fleece. Yet finding not a piece, frustration sets aglow. Man cannot find release when suffering in a throe. But Ahab found his whale, and it became a jail.
I was glad to see so many people write a villanelle. I find them a struggle.
That was very encouraging. Was it 7 people wrote a
Yes, that's great. That's great, and they were all very good. This one, though, I like the humor to it, and the way it tells about a poet's struggle to put together certain forms. And so I chose Victoria Maynard's The Villanelle, and I'll read it. The Villanelle, Victoria Maynard. A trumped-up form of verse, the villanelle, contrived by minds that cannot hold a thought, for many pens dip in the same inkwell. It fosters repetition, fare thee well, and certain lines prevail by sheer onslaught, a trumped-up form of verse, the villanelle. While other forms are merely hard to sell with their requirements, I'm not distraught, for many pens dip in the same inkwell, the challenge finding words that rhyme and gel within the theme and subject as they ought, a trumped-up form of verse, the villanelle. But once that's done, all that remains is tell yourself, good going, atta girl, well fought, for many pens dip in the same inkwell. So with this finished trip to writer's hell, I'll hope to win, so all was not for naught. A trumped-up form of verse, the villanelle, for many pens dip in the same inkwell.